Hello everyone. I chose to do my tech demo on PhET Interactive Simulations. This is a website for various science and math simulations to help with better understanding of how science works. A lot of things in science are not visual, so you can't see it happening in real time, and so therefore you kind of need help to, if you are a visual learner or if you're not understanding something, you need a little more help to understand what is happening and how to learn certain areas of science. So PhET is completely free to use. You don't even have to sign up. I actually did not sign up for this website to do my simulation. All of this is completely free that anyone can access online. I just clicked on Play Simulations, and it'll bring you to another page. So as you can see, there are a bunch of different subject areas that you can choose from for any of the PhET simulations. You pretty much have all the sciences in here. You also have math. You can do other things like search by grade level or by the device that you're using it on. This up here with this HTML5, HTML5 is what makes it available to use on the actual website. Anything that's not HTML5, which would be this symbol right here, you have to actually download to your computer to use. So I'm going to click on Earth Science. Earth Science is actually the subject area where I would like to teach. So we're going to click on there. And as you can see, there is a number of videos. They are all in alphabetical order. And as you can see, like this one needs Java. This one over here, I can just use it on the computer with HTML5. So I'm going to come down here to Plate Tectonics. I actually downloaded this one to the computer. So this is actually something that you cannot see in real life. And this is one of the areas that somebody might need help with learning about in earth science. So I downloaded it to my computer already, which I have right here. So this is what it looks like when you first pop it up. You have a crust option and a plate motion option. So you have a crust, see what the crust is made of, and then you can see how the Earth's crust moves. A couple of things that I found really cool in here was you have a toolbox with a ruler for measurement, you have a thermometer for temperature, and a density meter. So what I found really cool was that it doesn't exactly tell you a temperature, but as you can see, this thermometer will move based on where you have it on the simulation. So obviously it's hotter on the Earth's interior. Density as well moves up and down depending on where you're at, so I thought that was also cool. And then you have how you want to view it. So right now I'm just seeing the density of things. I can also view it for temperature, and it gives a red scale to show how hot things are. Or you can have both. When it's both, you'll see the red. You don't really much see the density, but you can see like this is lighter, so less dense than over here. And then you can show some labels and show what part of the Earth that you're on. So this is the crust up here, and based on where you're at in the world, your crust might be thicker. The continental crust is always thicker than the oceanic crust. So it just shows variables like that. And then you see the mantle, which is the interior of the Earth. Other things that you can decide to move around is the temperature. You can make it cooler. We'll throw that up there and see it's a little bit cooler. You can add more iron, which as you can see, more iron makes the crust more dense, which means it'll sink into the interior a little bit more. If you add more silica, it makes it buoyant, and as you can see, it floats up. So right there. And then you can add a thickness variable. So you can make it a thin crust, and the thin crusts are usually deep in the ocean, or you can make it thick like a continental crust. So there's that. Plate motion. I actually really liked this simulation because you can add different variables and see how they work. And I like the automatic mode just because you put all your variables in there and then you see how it works over time. And again, we have the toolbox, we have the view. I'm going to show the labels just to help everyone out with visualizing things. And then we're going to put both on there so you can see how the temperature changes. So I'm actually going to do the continental crust, and then I'm also going to put in some old oceanic crust because, in general, new oceanic crust is in the middle of the ocean, so you'd have ocean to ocean. So we'll put that there. What happens when you meet continental crust and ocean crust is convergent. And that means that the two crusts will go together. And that's different things that you'll learn in um, classes. And then I'm going to just show another option that you have. If you do two crusts and you're trying to put them together, you have convergent, which goes together, divergent, which will split them apart, and then you have transform, which they just slide back and forth. So I'm going to do divergent, which means that they're going to split apart, and this is what actually happens in the ocean. Is usually it splits, the crust splits apart, and it creates more earth, I guess. So you got your labels on there. And then what we're going to do is we got the time over here, and I can speed it up or go slower. So we're just going to hit play and see what happens. So you hit play and you see, there you go, your Earth is splitting apart. And as you see where we started at, it's now moving over. We're creating more Earth, more crust, and it's splitting apart over time. You see this? That's lava over here that's coming up. Sorry, that's magma. Magma's from the interior Earth. And then you can make it slower or faster, and you can kind of see how things happen over time. You got a time lapse of where it's at. And oceanic crust isn't all that kind of fantastic to look at because you got a lot of water over it. Usually when you see what's happening on a continent, you'll see volcanoes pop up and stuff like that. So we can actually do that really quick. You'll see that. So we have continental. We'll put some young ocean in there just because you can. And then we can, this is converging together. You see that? It's all kind of interactive tools that somebody uses to manipulate how the simulation works and how different things affect the Earth. So that's pretty cool. And then as you can see, those little volcanoes are starting to pop up over there, and that's how you get those mountain areas that are on the coast. So that is my demonstration of how a PhET simulation works. If you ever want to restart, there's things down here where you can rewind the time. You can move backwards. See, now we're back down to 0 million years old. And you can create a new crust, or you can just reset all of your variables and start from the beginning. So I hope this was very interactive for you, and I hope you enjoyed the simulation that I gave you, and you should have a good day.